Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, we know that Disney Plus's version of the MCU has been quite a slump for a while. The show's ratings are absolutely in the toilet. It hasn't really been anything good or decent to watch on there since Agatha. There's been all kinds of crazy canon breaking things, while canon changing things that have really upset a lot of the fans. The storytelling just honestly hasn't been very good at all, and they pick some of the weirdest and most random characters to decide to spend hundreds of millions of dollars on a television show and marketing that at the end of the day, time and time again, just ends up failing. And ladies and gentlemen, the next one that's coming out, there's been a lot of set photos released. We're hearing more and more about it. I'm sure we'll end up getting a trailer before too long. Is the none other than the WandaVision spin-off show, Agatha All Along. And ladies and gentlemen, we know exactly what this is going to end up being. We know what kind of nonsense we're going to end up dealing with this kind of show, and we know how abysmally poor all of the writing has been from the Walt Disney Company for honestly quite a while now. And honestly, I was one of those. I was done after WandaVision, what they did to my girl Wanda, making her the villain. I was just done. I couldn't put up with it. It was one of my favorite characters out there, and they just did her dirty, and I was not going to stand for it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, now after all of that time, Disney, in their infinite wisdom, decided to green light a show about Agatha Harkness. Who? Yeah, exactly. That's part of the problem, ladies and gentlemen. They are picking an obscure character that they used as a storytelling narrative in the WandaVision show. Now they have spent hundreds of millions of dollars on a brand new show. And Forbes, of all places, ladies and gentlemen, Forbes, a mainstream legacy media institution who mostly talks about the economy, is coming out here and declaring Agatha All Along is essentially guaranteed to be the MCU's least watched show. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't think there's any way to deny that. Although there might be a slight argument to be made that Disney's Echo is actually going to end up being the lowest, as of right now, holds the crown for the least watched show of anything coming out of Disney Marvel this entire time. But, ladies and gentlemen, Agatha may end up taking its crown. I'm not sure, but holy cow. Talk about an obscure character. So we're going to check out this article from Forbes. We're going to see what kind of juicy details Paul Tassi, what kind of arguments he has to make for this kind of stuff, and give you some of my own opinions as well on all of that. But before we do, if you do enjoy our content, make sure you smash that like button, share with all your friends, subscribe and or follow if you have not already, and leave us a comment down below. We record these live. Come join us at 11 a.m. Monday through Friday to check these out and have your comments read out live. Or if you're watching this on the replay, of course, leave us a comment down below. All of that stuff really does help out, and I try to read and to respond to as many of them as I can. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, Agatha All Along is essentially guaranteed to be the MCU's least watched show. Disney has previously talked about how they need to slim down their Marvel offerings to avoid oversaturation, with an eye toward its litany of past, current, and future Disney Plus series. But one idea from its initial launch seems to have held on. It's hard to imagine it performing well, no matter even its quality. That would be Agatha All Along. Agatha All Along just released a new image at Empire showing its group of witches opening some sort of basement door, revealing something. But I'm wondering how it's possible. But I'm wondering how it is possible this is going to perform even reasonably well for Marvel. And for some reason, you hadn't seen the picture. Holy cow, let's switch up that out. There's the picture right there. This is the one that was going around last week over there from Empire Magazine. This is our first little scene right here. I've gotten some of my thoughts before on all of that kind of stuff. So just to show that off in case you guys had missed that and hadn't seen it for whatever reason. The main thing that we've heard of the show for months is how often it's changed its name, going from Agatha House of Harkness to Agatha Coven of Chaos, Darkhold Diaries. Now it's settled on Agatha All Along, the Emmy-winning musical number from WandaVision. It seems like those other names may have just been some sort of weird marketing stunt. I honestly don't believe that. My opinion on that is they literally, just like a lot of the other shows that we've seen over the past few years from Disney, is they don't have any plans going forward, right? They're changing things on the fly. We heard this from the WandaVision actress herself. We heard that from her when they talking about the Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness movie. She said, literally, I stopped bothering reading the next day's script because by the time we would get to the set, it would have already completely changed. They were literally changing the entire story on a day-by-day basis. They have no idea what they're doing over the Walt Disney Company. Every single person that has a plan or any kind of creative talent at this point must have been fired or just decided to leave because they were done with the BS. I have no idea, but I don't think it was a marketing stunt at all. I legitimately think that they had no idea what they were going to name this show. And somebody over marketing just kept deciding to throw things out and maybe more of a test the waters and see which one might actually go well with the crowd, because we've seen stuff like that happen. We've heard about rumors and hints of leaked, character or actors that might have been cast as certain characters. And we know from the Hollywood insiders that we've heard from before that this is also a lot of the time it's a marketing technique. It's more like a survey. They like testing the waters to see how well this stuff goes on before they make a final decision. And honestly, I think that was probably more what it was than anything else. And once again, the absolute confusion. Well, Catherine Hahn is great, and it's neat that someone like Aubrey Plaza is also in the series. I love Aubrey Plaza. We're getting into a very obscure Marvel territory with its magic-based witch storylines. A major component of the series seems to be setting up Joe Locks as Wiccan, the son of Scarlet Witch in the comics and a member of the Young Avengers, another concept the MCU seems to be assembling. Oh, yeah. From what we hear, too, is the Ironheart series is done wrapping. Like, they go for it. They talk about more money just burnt. Ironheart, the obscure modern comic iteration, supposedly of Iron Man, that's been completely and totally replaced by a little female girl that's supposed to be the smartest thing ever, that failed miserably in the comics. Yeah, that's what they're going with. Can't wait to see those viewership numbers. But look at what Disney shows that perform badly in terms of viewership. This is why it feels like Agatha, a show no one really asked for, has a chance. And that's the whole point. That's one of the other major problems over the Disney Marvel company, is the fact that they don't care what the fans want. They don't give us what we ask for. They think they know best, and it's literally blowing up in their faces. And you got to just enjoy it at this point. The second worst performing show is Secret Invasion, which starred big MCU player Nick Fury, a role reprised by Samuel L. Jackson. It was more or less a direct connotation of the continuation of the $1 billion grossing Captain Marvel, minus the hero herself. It famously had over a $200 million budget, but was the second least watched series. Yes, that's what I'm saying. It just continues to go down and down and down. The lowest performing show we know about, that would be Miss Marvel, which proves the concept that it doesn't matter if the series is great. It's actually the highest rated live action MCU project ever. It also starred the high profile comic hero Kamala Khan. High profile comic hero? Methinks somebody over at Forbes is either being a little too nice or puffing a little too much on the ganja, and probably should pass it off at this point. Stop babysitting. You've done too much, all right? And you know what? I like the character. Iman Vellani. I like the actress. I think she's been very nice. I think she's a lot better at sidestepping a lot of the BS that some of the legacy kind of stuff does. So I really like the fact that she's in there. And it just didn't get people to watch. No, it didn't. Nobody cared. Like they said, it wasn't written for us. It literally wasn't. It was supposed to be like a little teenage high school drama. So how can Agatha even top these shows? Again, quality doesn't matter here. It's the concept of these series in the first place, as this simply doesn't seem like a show that should have been greenlight if Disney is interested in actual viewership. We don't know its budget, so hopefully it's nowhere near Secret Invasion territory. I don't trust them for that. But star Patti LuPone says it looks like a $100 million movie. If it did not cost $100 million, that would certainly be ideal. But I'm not sure LuPone has access to Disney's financials. As a viewer, all I want is a good show to watch. But in terms of how this is going to perform, Agatha lacking significant viewership seems like an inevitability. And I don't think there's any doubt about that whatsoever. And this is the other thing that that Paul is missing here, right? And maybe he just doesn't want to come out and say it. I don't know. It's not whether or not the show is going to be a good quality or not. It's the fact that the Disney Marvel fans have been burnt. They have been burnt so many times over and over again with poor quality shows, with poor quality movies, and with poor decisions as far as the characters to highlight. Nobody wants an Agatha Harkness show. I don't care if it's good. I don't care if you're the one random weirdo out there who's going to leave me a comment in the comment section down below on the video about how Agatha was my favorite character in the comics and I read all the comics and yada, yada, yada. Okay, great. Wonderful. I'm glad that's you. I'm glad that that's the case. At the end of the day, this is not a mainstream character. This is not a household name. This is somebody that nobody gives a crap about. And with the current state of Disney Marvel, all of their good faith is gone. The majority of fans out there do not trust them anymore. And in the past, maybe people would have been willing to give this show a shot and see what it was like. But in the current state of Disney Marvel and the absolute piss poor writing and creative talent and the lack of creative talent that's been over there and that we've seen shine through all of these ridiculously bad shows, you get what you deserve. Disney Marvel has a very good track record at this point of giving us poor quality shows. Why would anyone expect anything else? And why would anyone even be willing to take the shot at a character that nobody knows anything about, nobody cares about, and it's not what the fans wanted? Disney Marvel is nothing more than creatively bankrupt, and they have no idea what they're doing. They're literally just trying to go with whatever will meet all of their checkboxes, digging through the Disney bottom basement of characters, digging for anything that will meet all of their checkbox requirements. And Agatha meets all of those. So go ahead, enjoy your checkboxes over good storytelling and actually pleasing your customers. This show might not be the least watched show of all time over there, but boys and girls, it's certainly got a very good chance. And either way, it's going to fail, and it's going to cost Disney Marvel hundreds of millions of dollars once again. Burn, Disney, burn. You did it to yourself.